Hi there, it's Mel from Movement New Fitness Coaching. Today I've got the last recipe of the year. It's a Caesar salad, junk food Friday version. Because there's a few things in Caesar salad that if you're eating it every day, it's got too many discretionary ingredients. Things like bacon, preserved meat. We've got all those nitrogens and other preservatives, salt that we don't want people eating every day. Discretionary foods are sometimes foods. That means maybe once a week, once a fortnight, you have that item in a small quantity. The other item, cheese. Cheese is okay. 30 grams a day, not a problem. Or a matchbox serve is the best way to remember cheese. The other item is the mayonnaise. It's the biggest killer and artery filler on Caesar salad. So should we be eating Caesar salad every day? No. Should we be eating it once a week? Maybe okay. Once a fortnight's better. Or you can make my Junk Food Friday version and you can eat it every day. So I have left the bacon out. If you want to add the bacon, that's your choice. You can also, if you want to replace the bacon with some boiled chicken, steamed chicken, or leftover roast chook, sprinkle that over the top. But there is going to be two eggs in there when you see it finally finished. That's your serving of eggs you're allowed for the day. So you can have 2 eggs a day, unless your doctor's told you otherwise, of course. But any average healthy person without any problems can have 2 eggs a day. It's protein. That's 1 serve of protein. So most average people can have 2 serves of protein a day. So if you're adding chicken, then you've just eaten your protein serves for the day. So remember that. It's all a balancing act, moderation. Let's go over, because the most important part to this salad is the dressing. So I'm going to take you through the dressing. The first thing we're going to put in the dressing is 2 avocados. Now, remember, as always with Junk Food Friday, you don't need to be madly writing down the recipe as I'm talking and you're watching. The recipe is on my website. So all you have to do is go and use the link below to get to the recipe link in my website. And you can get that recipe off the website without having to have written it down. So remember that. No need to write things down because all the quantities are there written for you. The method's written for you. Everything, every step I'm doing is written for you. So make sure with your avocados. Now, avocados are an amazing food for you because they have the good cholesterol fats in them. So they actually help to lower our cholesterol if we have a cholesterol problem. But you want to make sure your avocados you use are mushy. Now, one of these is a little bit firm, but when they're mushy, like the other one, have a look at that. See how it smudges against the side of that vessel? That's how you want them because it will make a smoother sauce. And at the end of the day, we are trying to make a dressing. So we want it nice and smooth by the time we're finished. Now, first ingredient, always got to have a bit of onion or garlic in a dressing. So traditional Caesar that you all know and love has garlic in it. I'm using shallots because once again, it's a different dressing. It's actually a dressing you can eat every day if you wish. You could even put this dressing on things like a bit of barbecued meat. This is so versatile, this dressing. It's ridiculous. Instead of your hollandaise sauce on your eggs Benedict, you could put this dressing. You just got to think outside the box. So what I'm doing is just helping the blender to get the dressing a little smoother by chopping the shallots a little smaller. It's still not going to be totally smooth. If you use something like a bigger mixer, like a Thermomix, that will get it totally smooth. Ones like this, they're quick and easy to use. Half a lemon juiced, boom. Worried about the seeds? Juice it into your hand and it will catch any seeds. But I'm fortunate enough, it's the lemon season and this one doesn't actually have any seeds in it, the variety that it is. But during winter, the variety that comes out most of the time, they have a fair few seeds. So you can either use that hand technique I just did to catch them, or you can use a juicer. There we go. Nice bit of lemon. Now, this is optional. 2 anchovy fillets. Any good Caesar dressing always has a bit of anchovy. That's the saltiness that people sometimes don't like. Funny, isn't it? You'll eat a bunch of salt sprinkled from a shaker, but you won't eat a bit of fish. All right, capers. They're in there for zing. Make it nice and zesty and fresh. So some capers. So the first component is to blend that. Bit of cracked pepper. No salt because capers and anchovies are incredibly salty. So we're going to blend that until it's nice and smooth. So I've just blended that for about 90 seconds. You can see I can hold it and it's pretty thick. That's going to be way too thick for a dressing. Great if you want to make a dip. So what we're going to do is add a bit of cold water into that to thin it down a bit, because we've still got to add some yogurt. This is 99% low-fat yogurt. It makes that creamy texture that mayonnaise has that we all love and get used to, and that's what the yogurt's in there for. It also adds a little bit of zing and stops the avocado oxidizing, turning that brown color. So a little bit of water. I'll put the quantities of water I use on the recipe so you won't have to worry about guessing. So I'm just going to mix that in now by pulsing the blender. And remember to be a bit flexible with your water, because depending on how firm or soft your avocado is will determine how much water you need to add. So even though I put the quantity in the recipe, make sure you just add a little bit at a time. All right, so I'm looking for it to be runny. So that's just starting to run now. So I'm going to add a little bit more water because, as I said, when I add that yogurt, it's going to thicken it back up a bit. All right, that is looking fairly good. We're going to get a knife and run it through to show you. So it's still holding its shape there, even when the knife runs through. You can see that. That's a good test. But it's starting to get that shiny appearance. So what we'll do is we're going to add the yogurt. And then once we've added the yogurt, we can add a bit more water, should it still be a little too thick. Because remember, this is going to go in the fridge and it's going to firm up a bit more in the fridge. Avocado has magic properties like that, where it firms up in the fridge a little and sets. Oh, looking good. So you can see that I'm going to add a little bit more water, and that should make it just about right. All right, we're going to have a good look at this so you know what you're looking for at home. Have a look at how that rolls around the vessel. You can see on the blades it's pretty smooth. You can see that nice shiny appearance. Looks like a dressing, doesn't it? You wouldn't think there was no mayonnaise in there if I didn't tell you. Now you can have a look how it still softly holds its shape. We call that ribbon consistency. So the shape sort of falls away, but then holds. That's what you're looking for your dressing, so your bowl doesn't end up like a plate of water. Come on over with me. We're going to have a look how to construct this. You can construct it however you like, but personally, I love getting a Caesar salad that has some broken up leaves. Now, I've chosen those beautiful little baby cos you can buy in the supermarket. You might choose to get the big giant size cos. I'm breaking up into some small bits, but I'm keeping about 3 leaves whole so it looks pretty in the plate. But the main thing that you do is dress all the leaves and cover it. You ever had a salad in a cafe or restaurant and it comes out and you start eating it and you get these big globs of dressing and then there's some lettuce with no dressing on? It's a bit gross. When you do it in a bowl like this, before you put it into its serving bowl, it coats the lettuce a little smoother and more evenly. And then you can still put some daubs on at the end. You've got to get your hands dirty. Remember, if you use tongs, you're going to bruise those lettuce leaves. So you got to be ready to get your hands dirty with this one. And like I said, you want to get it coating those big leaves too. So just do that gently by getting the broken up bits of leaf and rubbing it over the whole leaf. So now we have all the leaves coated in that amazing dressing. And we pop it there in the bowl, nice and pretty, like so, sticking up a bit. And we get the broken up leaves in the middle, making a nice mound. Give me a moment to clean my hands up. All right, thanks for waiting while I got my hands ready to go. The next component, I love layering my cheese on next. Now this is some pepper pecorino. You can use Reggiano, you can use Parmesan, you can use whatever cheese you like. So I've used a veggie peeler because I love getting big whole strips when I do a Caesar. It adds to that texturization, so it's not just all a plate of mush. You can grate it if you want to. You can put chunks of it, but my best advice, if you are going to have this dish every day for your lunch, is to make sure you measure that matchbox serving of cheese and then shave it. Because you want to make sure you're not going over your cheese ratio. So there's your cheese on there. Now, more texturization. Not the most attractive, but it does add to the color contrast. Croutons are one of the most important ingredients in your Caesar. Keeping it healthy so you can eat them. Most croutons are loaded with fat as well as garlic. I've just used wholemeal bread, so you're getting whole grains into your diet there, and I've toasted it well in the toaster. So you can toast it to the degree you like, or you can just leave the croutons out if you want. I know a lot of people don't like croutons in their salad or anything. I love getting that texturization though, like I said. So for me, I need to have my croutons. The next thing, I've put a supplement in. Tomatoes are so good for us for so many different reasons, especially the high vitamin C. I've got some slow roasted tomatoes, which I've done earlier. I know, we've all heard that line before. It's in the recipe how to make these. So once again, tomatoes, your choice if you want to add them. In the recipe, how to slow cook those. Next thing, eggs. I love soft boiled eggs on my Caesar salad. That runny yolk, runny white, makes it look great, as well as it makes it more of a treat and turns the dressing into that richer texture and flavor. But you may not like it. I've got the times in the recipe for the eggs. I've undercooked mine by 1 minute, so I've added a minute into your recipe. You don't need to add time. I've corrected the recipe already for you. So the correct time for your eggs, if you want them runny, but not as runny as what these ones are, the correct times in the recipe, use that timing in the recipe. You might want to hard boil them. In that case, I've also put in the timing for a hard boiled egg. So these eggs are super soft. I'm going to pick it up like so, because we want to have that ooze effect. So I'm cutting the egg down the middle like so. And you can see, capture that yolk falling away there. Have a look at that. I love them like this, but it doesn't look good. And that's why in your recipe, I've given it an extra minute, and that will get it to the state where it will hold and just the yolk will run. So 2 eggs, like I said, per salad. Cut the next one. Oh, did you see that run? Pop that in there like so, and that in there like so. That's some serious runny yolk. Now that is one tasty Caesar salad that you can eat every day, and you can even have that extra dressing that we talked about, running it over the top like so. Divine. That's my Junk Food Friday Caesar salad. From Movement and New Fitness Coaching, thank you for watching my channel. Why not subscribe so you know every time a new video is uploaded? There's a couple of new shorts I've put on lately. I wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2024. Take care.